Now, I was gonna cap it off by talking about analyzing pre-sales, but we do want to make sure we're being very respectful about time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to breeze through this. I'm going to breeze through this real quick, and I'm going to just give you guys a few really great tips about analyzing pre-sales to make sure we end on the right note. So I'm just going to do a quick screen share. This is a pre-sale that we had exclusive access to at the Mogul Group a couple of months ago. And so first thing first, we want to talk about selecting the right pre-sale. This one was in Maple Ridge, really nice building. So the first thing you want to do is take a look at the building and figure out if the location makes sense in terms of location and inventory. So do a search to see how many other buildings are under construction in your target area right now. You know, if there were like 10 other buildings just like this going up within a few blocks, that's a bad sign because you have all that inventory hitting the market at once when it's completed. Secondly, you want to make sure you're close to amenities. So you can see that this builder talks about in their package all of the amenities that they're close to. So the reason we like this particular one is because it had three things that we really wanted to see. Number one, there aren't a ton of other buildings for sale in Maple Ridge right now. That's going to drive value. Number two, it's in the best part of town, close to all of the main parts of the downtown amenity and attraction core. And then number three, it's an amenity-rich building. It's got a great gym. It's got a rooftop patio for residents. It's got everything you want to see, so it's going to hold its value at a very high level. So that kind of checks our initial boxes. The next thing we want to do with our pre-sale is check the pricing. So this was the pricing schedule. I'm going to open it because it's a little small. Hold on. There we go. Check the pricing schedule of the units in the building. So we've got our pricing schedule. We can see we got the price, we got the square foot. We can check the price per square foot. So what we want to do, and you've seen this tool a couple of times today. So all we would do is a basic search in BC residential attached. So we're going to have a look at all of the condos in Maple Ridge, and we're going to have a look at what's for sale right now to see what other new buildings are selling for. We're also going to have a look at what's already sold to figure out if these prices actually make sense. So when I did that analysis, I could tell that these prices were towards the top of the pricing scale. However, the buildings at the top of the scale, and they're being sold in today's prices, which is what we want to see. Something that you have to watch out for in a pre-sale, and something that some developers do, is they'll actually price the inflation into the price of the units. So you're not actually paying for the pre-sale what it would it be worth today if it was completed. You're paying for the pre-sale. You're paying for the pre-sale what it might be worth in the future. And that's a dangerous place to be, because if the market doesn't continue to appreciate with you, then you get into a ton of trouble. So that's element number two. Element number one is doing an assessment of upcoming inventory in the target market in combination with what the quality and the amenity of the building is going to be. Second thing we want to look at is making sure that the prices are in line with current market value. The third thing we want to do is have a contingency plan. So you guys have seen this spreadsheet multiple times tonight. This spreadsheet right here, basically you want to crunch the numbers on what happens if when this pre-sale is completed and I end up in a situation where I have to close on this thing and own it. Can I rent it out? Can I cash flow it? Or will I at least more or less break even? So you want to put the place into the property analyzer, make sure that your profit comes out a number that you can live with if you actually have to close it. I'd even recommend stress testing, because we know that the interest rate today is at an all-time low, and you're probably not going to get an interest rate like that 5 years from now or 3 years from now or 2 years from now when the completion happens. So stress test it by future forecasting out the appreciation a little bit. I know that was a very quick description of pre-sale. Probably my last tip on pre-sale is going to be get to know what tier you're in, because the builder, they're going to release the units in collective phases, and the first people to the party get the best possible price. That's typically the way it works in a pre-sale. So really make sure that you're working with a realtor. Like, I mean, we have tier 1 access to a bunch of pre-sales, early phase access. So make sure you're working with a realtor that has that early access so that you're not paying a more premium price, you're paying that introductory level price point. And then every phase that gets released, the prices typically inflate and you're making money on every single phase. So that's pre-sales in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat, but I want to make sure that we're being respectful of time. If you guys are interested in pre-sales, it's a good time to do it just because the Vancouver market is in a flatter period. We had that little blip of post-COVID and now it's mellow for a bit. And I think it's going to start picking up again soon. So, I mean, I think the next 6 months are going to be a good time to put a deposit on a pre-sale. The other thing about a pre-sale is just to calculate the ROI. You know, for a 500, usually they let you put 10% down. So if you bought a $500,000 unit at 10% down, that's a $50,000 investment. So if over 2 years, your $500,000 place goes up to 550, then you've made 50,000 on profit in a $50,000 investment. It's pretty substantial ROI, which is a really great place to be. So that's pre-sales in a nutshell. Super quick. If you want to talk to us more about them, reach out. Happy to talk more about pre-sales. We've got access to a lot of them. And in the meantime, let's wrap it up. So thanks to all of our presenters for analyzing a bunch of deals. It's amazing to be able to get into the back office and actually see how to pick a property, how to run a spreadsheet, how to make it happen. Now, I want you all to pay extra super close attention, especially those of you out there who do joint ventures. So just quick show of hands, or maybe use the emoji icon, the reactions icon. I'll do a little emoji here. Pew! There's my little party horn. If you like to do joint ventures, the next meeting is going to be for you. What we're doing is a good old-fashioned Dragon's Den style meeting. So what's going to happen in that meeting? We have 5 people from across the country who have done at least $5 million in joint ventures each. So, you know, we've got some experts on the panel who have raised well over $150 million. And then we want to have 5 joint venturers pitch a deal. So it's going to be pretty sweet because you're going to be able to get feedback from 5 experts on a panel on your 5 to 10 minute pitch. We've already got 3 people who are going to be pitching deals. So if you think you might want to come pitch a deal to an expert panel and get feedback, there's no better opportunity to refine your joint venture skills. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. We have 2 spots left, and one of them is kind of sort of tentatively called for. I had a meeting with a client today who said they'd be interested. But if you think that's something you might want to do, jump in on it. You might find your joint venture partner just by having them watch you pitch your deal live at that meeting. It's a pretty stellar opportunity. But the second big point, the second big announcement is that we're doing the meeting in person again. And that is something to be super happy and super excited about. So if you're in Vancouver, come to the Vancouver meeting. If you're in Edmonton, come to the Edmonton meeting. And if you're anywhere nearby, why the heck not? Have a little getaway staycation, drive in. If you're in Red Deer, make the trip. If you're in Fort Mac, why the heck not? You know, if you're up in the valley in Hope or Kelowna, you know, if you need an excuse to come visit the beautiful city of Vancouver, this is your sign. Come talk a little real estate and network with your fellow investors, and then stick around and have a good time. And then, of course, if you've gotten very used to that Zoom life and you just want to kick back your feet up and not wear pants and watch via Zoom, we are broadcasting the meeting too. So whatever you like, we're doing it. But hey, I'll tell you what, nothing beats a fist bump and a high five and a handshake and proper fellowship and camaraderie with your fellow real estate investors. So check it out. We're gonna add you all to the mailing list. If you want a copy of that spreadsheet, reach out. It's a very powerful tool. And thank you guys so much for popping in right in the middle of summer here. Enjoy the last 2 weeks because summer will be over before you know it. And then it's time to get down to business because it'll be fall market. So have a great time, everybody. Thanks again for chiming in, and we'll see you all next time.